And now, your official TigerBait live show with Mike Scarborough and Buddy Songy starts now.
All right, everybody, welcome in a big edition of TigerBait Live tonight. Mike Scarborough, my sidekick, Buddy Songy, and we've got a lot to discuss tonight. A lot of rumors of the day with closed practice and what might or might not have happened. We'll address that. Of course, if you're enjoying the show tonight, please hit that like button. Please share it out. We're going to go for a solid hour and a lot to discuss. We weren't out there today. We're off again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a recovery day. They did practice today, obviously. And then we'll be back out Friday and Saturday. Welcome in, buddy.
Good to see you, Mike. Listen, folks, all of the media, we needed a day off today, and inexplicably did we realize that there would be rampant rumors that happened right before the start of our show. And, of course, most of you are aware that there are rumors about Garrett Nussmeier and his health and what happened at practice today. It's amazing how stuff flies, whether it's real or Memorex, whether it's BS or real. But lo and behold, we'll talk about it, and I'll give some props up to you. Mike and I were doing the show as this stuff started to go crazy, and he was multitasking and got the information and was the first guy to say that Nuss is okay. He got that from a good LSU source. We don't know the severity. We don't know what happened, and it'll be interesting to see. Well, they've got a recovery day. We're back out there on Friday at 9:25. We'll have a better idea, but I hand the football off to you, but kudos to you.
Well,
the first one to actually get the okay. But then again, look, folks, still a lot of questions.
Yeah, so the word gets out. I know it made its way to social media, a free message board out there, and I know that post was eventually deleted. I think LSU might have called somebody and said, please take that down. But the rumors persisted. It got out there, and I immediately reached out to multiple of my LSU sources, and I found out within an hour and a half that the same words that were used from my sources was being sent to other folks in the media. He's okay. Everybody in the media got a "he's okay" reply when they reached out to their LSU source. Okay. Now, because it wasn't anything that we reported, in fact, Preston reached out to me and said, do we need to put something on the site? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. They're claiming there was nothing. He's okay. But then immediately, and you guys tell me what's the right way you think a media person should do it. I looked around, and a lot of other media were running with it and saying I've got the scoop on my message board and blah, blah, blah. So then what am I going to do? Probably what other media people are going to do. They're going to follow suit, so it doesn't look like you're not plugged in and covering the story or digging in to see if there's any truth to it. So all I did was put out a little tweet with a link to something short I put on my message board, but I wasn't planning on making a ruckus about it or putting anything on the front page of TigerBait.com because LSU said it was nothing, refuted the early reports that were out there that he was carted off the field. Now, I will say this, having said all that, when you hear he's okay, that can mean a lot of things in that world. He's okay can mean he's not lost for the season, but he's got a high ankle sprain and he's not available for Florida. Or he broke a finger on his non-throwing hand. It can mean multiple things. We're going to find out soon enough. We get Joe Sloan on Friday. Now, if all of a sudden Joe Sloan's not coming out on Friday and we end up getting BK, that's probably going to tell you even more, right? I'm not saying there's some grand conspiracy. I'm just saying I still think there's some more info to drop.
Yeah, and we also have availability at 9:20 or 9:45 on Friday, and so if they cancel on us and don't let us come out there, that could be a telling sign. Look, I don't know if you picked this up, but yesterday as we were doing the report, I predicted that there would be some bumps and bruises. Folks, at this point in the camp, LSU has been squeaky clean. Aaron Anderson, they cleaned up some stuff in his knee, and he's slowly coming back. And boy, oh boy, I didn't realize, but Solomon Thomas might be in the mix, certainly would be in the 2 deep at one of the guard spots. He was on the bike. He's supposed to come back in a month. That's going to help this offensive line. We hadn't talked about that. Carius Kern has lost 15 pounds. A lot of people I talk to, Mike, want to see if he would get a look-see at guard, because Josh Thompson, and I'm not trying to beat him up personally, but he was listed at 301 in the spring, and he's 315 now. And unfortunately, a lot of that weight is right here. But offensive linemen, like you and I talked about, carry that big weight, but it doesn't look like good weight. The bottom line is this, folks. We'll find out soon enough. There are some concerns, about the health of Garrett Nussmeier, but more so has been the play of the offensive line. And you're trying to ascertain, is the D-line that good? Is the offensive line that bad? Or is it leveling out? I'll tell you this, first day of full pads, and Jack Pyburn is a maniac. I asked Coach Kelly, how do you balance playing tackle football, full speed, having contact, but not beating up your own team? Pyburn tackles Caden Durham from behind, and I'm worried about him hurting. This defense is nasty and ferocious, but you don't want to beat up your own team. So it's a juggling match of how you get them ready and not beat your team up. And let's knock on wood and hope good things happen, because there's a couple people that can't get hurt. Nussmeier's one, and Caden Durham is the second one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other part, just circling back, Nussmeier, everything was, it's whatever happened in non-contact. Well, he's non-contact no matter what. He's wearing a red jersey. Now, we've been out there the last 2 practices. He's gotten knocked down.
Absolutely.
And that happens.
Yeah. And people fall. He fell on a pile one time, and then the guys were quick to pick him up.
And I'm not picking on Harlem Berry because, but it can be something as simple as Harlem Berry being a freshman and trying to pick up a Jack Pyburn and not having his balance and getting knocked in the back of a quarterback. He's going to get knocked down. Stuff's going to happen.
Well, and this also plays into the equation of you want us to run more and pick up that first down and utilize his feet. But you have to remember that little caveat. LSU is not in a great position with backups. We'll say this, whether Nuss is good to go for the year, or whether he's had an injury and he's going to be banged up for a couple of weeks, a couple of games, whatever. I do think that Van Buren and Colin Hurley are going to get better. But right now, they're nowhere close to facing a very good Clemson defense. And so be careful on what you ask for, because you don't want Nuss during the season to get hurt running. You got to slide, you get hit from the side. But on the other hand, Mike, you got to pick up a first down, score a touchdown or whatever. So we're giving you some.
I just feel like if you were to guess or put the highest Vegas odds on what kind of injury a quarterback wearing a red jersey can have in fall camp, probably an ankle, right? It can be him trying to get a ball off in a very tight throwing lane with the pocket collapsing, and he leaves his feet to almost kind of throw it, to get some height on it, and then coming down, and stuff happens. You lose your balance. But
remember, and people out there that are much smarter than me will remember this, but Nuss got banged up seriously in a game last year. Tell me which game it was. I can't remember. And we all thought he was done for the game, and that son of a gun came out. Look, he's very spiritual with the good Lord. And what does that mean? He's going to handle this in the right way. But Nuss is one tough son of a gun, just like Joe Burrow was, just like Jaden Daniels was. And if there's any way he can play August 30th, he's going to play. We don't know. Nobody knows. My favorite thing. We don't know. You don't know. But we'll find out in the coming days.
I'm going to say this. He's okay is too vague.
Sure.
It's too vague. Okay.
Well, but they've got to go that way, because they're not going to.
Right. And because if it is something bad and they're waiting for a second opinion or whatever, they need a swelling to go down for a day or two before they can get a good image of it. Who knows? Maybe it's just a hangnail.
But my point was, he has been hit during games and practice. He's tough. You just hope it wasn't one of those freak accidents that's going to sideline him for a while. But sit tight. There's plenty of time to assess the situation. And you know what? Life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you deal with it. And if it's bad, you got to move on. If it's good, you still are going to be precautious because you can't afford to lose nuts this year.
Absolutely. All right. Let's hear from Mike and Alex over at Pride Roofing.
Hi, I'm Michael with Pride Roofing.
I'm Little Alex.
Have you been affected by wind, hail, and tornadoes on the North Shore? Well, we're here to help.
Insurance claim, no problem.
We also have a new franchise location in New Orleans.
We don't build projects, we build memories.
Though you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer of TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Remember to call us at 855-PRIDE-16.
There you go. 855-PRIDE-16. When you call for your free roof inspection, say TigerBait, and you're going to get free TigerBait Premium for a year. That's a $99 value. Again, your go-to roofing company. If you have any issues, it's time for a new roof in Southeast Louisiana. Of course, main office in Hammond. Mike Faraday, one of the owners of Broadmoor High, an LSU grad, new office here in Baton Rouge, home in Thibodaux, Madisonville, Mandeville, Slidell, Covington, big on the North Shore, big in Southeast Louisiana, and got you covered. And commercial or residential, you're not going to beat Pride Roofing. If you've got another company's bid on letterhead, they will beat it by $150. That's why you want to do business with Pride. And they always have at least a couple of $1 million of shingles in stock, not builder grade. It's the stuff that you really want to keep the beauty of your house intact. And so you're not going to be waiting months or hearing about a back order because there's some particular color you want. There's a good chance they actually have it in stock and get your house torn down and knocked down in a day if weather permits.
Commercial, residential, and of course, metal roofs. Don't forget metal roofs, very hot right now. Mike and Alex acquired Crown Metals that changed the metal roofing business. Look, you always get a free roofing inspection at 1-855-PRIDE-16. They will sharpen the pencil. They will beat the bid. They will take care of you. Get there early. Get their work done. You will be prideful after the job. And I'm going to point out to it one more time. The pride of LSU defense. I'm taking this to the bank. Those big, mean, nasty son of a guns now going to bring back the pride of the LSU defense, the Chinese bandits, the goal line stands, and wait till you see Jack Piper. He's going to mess some people up this year. And I would hate it if he all of a sudden got a clean shot on Cade Club and he plow drove him into the ground like a WWE wrestler. He's that physical. Let's see if he gets to the quarterback in game one.
All right, let's dive in. We got a lot of comments to get to. We're 15 minutes in, and we need to talk to the fans and get their questions and comments. Brad David earlier said that we almost gave him a heart attack on your show earlier. Fire3449 says hit the like button. He also adds, Mike, on Monday, President's Show with Zach, I mentioned it occurred to me that you look like a lot like Lee Majors from the TV show The Fall Guy. Preston was upset I picked such a cool guy. Yeah. Don't get me started on Preston today. I get more Sean Payton. Everybody tells me I look like Sean Payton all the time.
Back to Brad real quick.
But Lee Majors, I did have his ex-wife's poster on my wall as a teenager.
And who was that?
Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, man, that was something. By the way, back to Brad, I thought we handled it well. Mike was the first one in all of the media. I'm not trying to give him a BJ or anything, but kudos to you. You got the source. You said it. And you said that was the first response. He's okay. Look, it's still a tumultuous time, and we still don't know the extent. Nobody knows. LSU people know, but when you have an injury like this, very seldom do you know with the swelling and all of that. We don't even know what it is. But I thought you did a great job of verifying that, and that was before 2 o'clock today.
Yeah, but tell me this. If he just had a mild sprain, wouldn't we know that? That would knock all this down.
In today's social media.
Why would you say he's got a mild sprain? We're going to wrap it. He'll be 100% in 3 days.
Yeah, we don't know. We just don't know.
But why not say that if that's what it is?
Because the BK has injury updates at a specific time during the season and during the fall camp, and that's what they get irritated with.
I know, but that's fine. I'm saying for their sake, it causes them more headaches, not me,
All right.
not you.
Right.
You know, Michael Bonnett's the one receiving phone calls and having to put out fires and all that stuff and all the right. It causes them more headaches.
I do know the Clemson media people and the Clemson people have jumped onto this. All ships aboard, and so we'll find out soon enough. But look, as we said, if he's okay, you move on. If he's not okay, you got to put up a quarterback or a pair of quarterbacks that are going to give you a competitive chance. Although Mike and I think that those guys got to come a long way if they have to play in starting roles on August 30th.
If he's out and you took the under on the Vegas win total, you're feeling pretty good. Todd Davis, how about Harold Perkins making plays all over the field? I'm so high on Harold Perkins. And my gut feeling before we even saw him, and we didn't even see him in the spring, was that this is going to be the year for him. Year 2 of Blake Baker, him being 3 years here now, an important year for him. And knock on wood, another one that needs to stay healthy. I think he's finally going to get dialed in and be put in the right positions to be the star he is.
I wanted to ask the question last year or 2 years ago, maybe it was last year before Perk got hurt. But then anyway, can you find a way that Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins are on the field at the same time? You're going to see that. Wes Weeks is running in the Mike linebacker. Of course, Mike asked me the other day about the nickel. P.J. Woodland is making it tough for them not to play him in the nickel. But that defense is flying around. But once again, we know that the offense on individual drills has done some great things. And so you're going to give up some plays, but you're also going to be appreciably better. But in response, I'm expecting Perk to have his best year. If he stays healthy, he lights it up. And I ask you, who would lead the team in sacks? If Perk stays healthy, I see a minimum of 8 to 9 sacks from him.
All right. Yeah. Dakota Chapman, who do y'all think is going to be the safeties against Clemson? I think the safety is going to be A.J. Halsey and Jordan Gilbert.
Bah!
He's right on Halsey.
If Jordan Gilbert
Jordan Gilbert's going to play.
Yeah, but if Jordan Gilbert starts at safety, you're going to drink a lot of libations. I'm sorry. TaMarcus Cooley's better. Javian Toviano is better. Now, Jordan Gilbert is a great tackler. He's just not a great cover. Neither is Toviano.
Jordan Gilbert has some limitations, but he's hard-nosed and he can hit. And he's gotten bigger and stronger. And you mentioned P.J. Woodland. You know, what might that kid be if he was an inch or two taller and 20 pounds heavier?
Unbelievable. Look, back to other safeties. I asked you this the other day in a report. Is the light going to go on for Deshaun Spears, number 10? TaMarcus Cooley. I'm going to predict TaMarcus Cooley and A.J. Halsey in response are going to be your starting safeties.
Fizzbuzz, I heard a lot of good in Pyburn and McKinley, not a peep from Guillory. No, well, Jacobian Guillory.
He's a backup.
He's in
the 2D.
Since he's gotten here, I think it's been kind of obvious that he was his abilities in a school like LSU, he's probably supposed to be a backup.
Well, we were asking.
It's been several years. After a year or so, it was obvious to me he was not meant to be a starter.
Well, look,
he's a 12 to 15 play guy.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Look for him to get 12 to 15 plays a game is what we're looking at.
In fact, I remember in high school against West Monroe, I went up to Ash to film Alexandria hosting West Monroe, and didn't do much the first half. Second half, he decided he wanted to play or turned it on, and he was unbelievable. I just think he's a 12 to 15 play guy.
Hey, look, right now, folks, with the evolution of Bernard Gooden, your D tackles are Dominic McKinley. You agree with me? Dominic McKinley is going to definitely start. I think Ahmad Bro, who changed to 16, and Bernard Gooden, 88. And then you have Jacobian Guillory, 4th. But don't forget about Sadir Mitchell, Sean Washington, Zion Williams. They got a ton of D tackles, and kudos to all those folks that welcomed Kyle Williams back as a Tiger. If you ever want to see what kind of guy he's in that locker room, pull up that YouTube video of him going about 52 seconds talking to his Buffalo teammates, like the old commercial, E.F. Hutton, when Kyle Williams talks, everybody listens. I think it's been a great addition. You got to admit, he's doing a lot better than most people thought. And Bernard Gooden is a perfect Kyle Williams type player. Undersized, motor, 100%, hard to block.
Andy Whitaker, FizzBuzz. It sounded like the biggest surprises are Gooden and Stamps. Any surprise on offense? Hill, maybe. Man, I know some people are really giving A grades to Stamps. I'm not giving him an A grade from what I've seen so far.
I don't think we should give him an A grade, but he is getting better. Look, everybody knows he had to play last year. He just had to play. There wasn't enough corners. But this year, if you have little guy, PJ in the nickel, Monsieur Delane and Stamps are going to start. Now, Jakeem Jackson, and guess who's coming on, folks? DJ Pickett. I thought DJ Pickett had his best practice yesterday. 6'5", 195. He may not be ready, and that's the thing that LSU fans have got to understand.
What is he when he puts on the normal 20 pounds that someone his natural age a year by year makes?
How much he weighs?
When he adds the normal 15 to 20
Oh,
pounds.
yeah. He'll be 6'5" and 215.
Is he still a corner?
I think so. Corey likes those long arm corners.
Yeah. FizzBuzz again. It sounded like the biggest surprise are Gooden, Stamps. Any surprises on offense?
Ton of them.
Hill, maybe. I think Hill's look good. But that's so hard.
Well, I'm a big fan of 246, as most of you heard in the reports. Destin Hill catching everything in the sight, 6'1", a solid 197, 199. Nick Anderson, we didn't see much of Nick Anderson because he's banged up in the spring. Then he got in a car accident and had a concussion. Nick Anderson, number 4, is going to make a lot of catches. How close
body-wise is Nick Anderson and Chris Hilton?
Nick Anderson's bigger, and
but they're built similar.
Yeah. And then the last guy, Barrion Brown. Folks, the last time Barrion Brown was with Kentucky and played Clemson, he took it to the house, not 1, not 2, but 3 times. And I don't think people realize now that you've got a burner opposite of Chris Hilton, they're going to throw the vertical deep ball this year. I don't care if it's Nuss or anybody else.
Yeah, but it's like you got Jelani Watkins out there. You got Harlan Berry. I mean,
you got some speedsters.
Look, we're a broken record. We talk about it each week. I mean, how do you got one football and all these weapons?
Well, that's why you got to coach them up and keep everybody happy. But FizzBuzz, I'm disappointed in you. You didn't mention Mike's favorite player on offense.
Destin Hill's definitely a guy in that mix.
He didn't mention Bauer Sharp. And even though Coach Kelly refuted the fact that he's dropped the ball.
Well, I'm going to ask you, have you ever seen him drop a ball?
I saw him make one-handed. He didn't drop one the other day in practice.
I haven't seen him drop a ball in spring or summer.
Yeah, well, I know, but we're out there limited minutes with him.
That's why I asked the question.
But Bauer Sharp is a definite new guy. And on the offensive line, we got to wait to see. I think Braylon Moore is going to do the job, but it's been real disappointing with Josh Thompson, and we'll see what they're going to do there. Carius Kern and Solomon Thomas were both 5-star offensive linemen. It might take them a couple of games to get in the mix, but they're going to help that offensive line at some point in this season.
Roy Green, Mike and Buddy, what have you seen from Tylen Singleton? He's another one.
Coming on. Had a good practice yesterday.
Yep.
Number 46, he'll be on special teams. The problem is, how are you going to get on the field? Whit Weeks, Harold Perkins, Wes Weeks, Devon Keys, C.J. Ross, Tylen Singleton.
I think that class of 24, although there's been already some guys no longer in the program, that class of 24 is starting to assert itself.
He might not be a star this year, but he could be a star next year.
JTL, Mike and Buddy always give the real. I see a fist. What is that? I can't see what that emoji is. My eyes are bad. Been looking at a computer screen for 30 years. Mike, what happened? What player? What kind of injury? Okay, we talked about that earlier. Let the university release injury info. Any media should refrain from posting until they know the facts and details. These YouTube commercials suck. they're supposed to be very sparse. I checked a box to make it so that they're minimal. Every time I say it, there's going to be someone in here saying I'm not giving Google any money, but I can tell you when I decided 3 years ago to go YouTube Premium, particularly as much as I watch YouTube more than I watch TV. I like to know how much of my life I've gotten back because I'm not waiting 5 seconds to hit next or having to watch commercials. That $10, whatever it is I pay, is worth every penny. I highly recommend it. Good evening, Mike and Buddy. Yep, glad to have you with us. Count the money. If he had a major injury, that would mean he had to get checked out, so no way they could hide it. I'm not stressing until I'm told to. Is it a knee or an ankle? We don't know any of that. All right, I'm gonna go past all that. Black Mamba Ram, Clemson's defense isn't elite. I've watched some of their fall camp, and the media stated it's a noticeable drop-off on the D-line from first team to second team, and they have big trouble with the safety position.
Yeah, they've got big trouble with the secondary, and now let's get back to some X's.
Throw deep.
What's that?
Throw deep.
Well, look,
you know
what I'm saying. Nuss catches it, he grips it, and he throws it under 2.5 seconds. One of the things you can do
so after BK takes the ball after winning the toss, deep ball first down.
No, put the tape in against USC in the first half. USC didn't know where the ball was coming, when it was coming out. If you spread people out, and we're talking about an incredible amount of talent that can catch it and run afterwards, but you got to throw it quickly. And if you throw it quickly in space, then you let the Barry Browns and the Aaron Andersons and the Chris Hiltons and Nick Andersons and the rest of them run after the catch. Look, here's
BK's going to go on offense if he wins the toss.
But here's the second question, and I asked the coach about this, and I think that we all have a concern about this. Are they going to be establishing a decent run game? Guess what they were last year in the run game? 111th out of 134 FBS offenses running the football this year. Mike, I'll ask you, from what you've seen, how long is it going to take to develop a run game?
The running backs are ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning the running backs.
I know.
It's all offensive
line. So I'm
line.
asking you basically, how long will it take the offensive line? It may take them 3 games.
If they start doing end arounds, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if Caden Durham gets any semblance of daylight, he can take it to the house. And but they have to have some semblance of the run game. It runs the clock, number one, but it also doesn't let you beat one-dimensional, and then they load up on the pass rush.
Black Mamba adds, all Clemson covered media, Locked On, etc. They're high on the first team, but then they say the offense is tearing them up, especially in the run game, and some Randall kid.
Yeah. LSU can put the yardage. Black Mamba, the big question I have, and we talk about this for days for the last couple of years, when you talk about receiving the kickoffs, here's what I want to see. You're moving the football down. You get inside the 20. You get inside the 10. Then you get inside the 7, 8, 5-yard line. Those are the key plays that Joe Sloan and BK have dialed up. And if Trey'Dez Green is used to block instead of catch the football, I'm going to go ballistic.
The LSU monster. I know who spread that false rumor about Nussmeier. Who? Posted here. All right. Hope Nuss is fine, says Dr. John Sibley Butler. Football is a tough physical game. He has to go all out on the field because he is a football. Yeah, he does. And again, he's wearing a red jersey. He's not supposed to be hit, but it's live. It's live action. And again, note, whatever happened, if anything happened, if nothing happened, we've been out there and he's been knocked down a few times.
Well, you made a good point. You made a good point on the show, though. Nuss has done a good job on the report. Nuss has done a good job at times of moving up into the pocket, but when it's coming from the outside, it's coming from the inside.
If you just jump a little bit to get it out because you need a little height, and then all of a sudden somebody gets underneath you, stuff can happen.
Here's the other thing Joe Sloan and BK can do. You roll the whole offensive line and Nussmeier to the right side. That gives him a little space to throw the football. I love the play where you roll to the right, everybody moves, and then you throw back to Bauer Sharp on the left side, middle screen, jailbreak, all those little bubbles, all those quick passes.
They're doing that just in the spring, and I get more excited about that than the big 40-yard plays.
But play calling is going to dictate a lot of how good they are. But inside the red zone, you got to get 6 instead of
that
3.
game you just talked about, those bubbles, those inside middle screens, all that stuff. How many times in the last 25 years has actually been LSU been good at those?
Not many. I'm hoping to get better, and I've seen a lot more. I think Joe Sloan's got a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
they have convinced BK they need more. If
Burrow was fantastic at it. Would you say Daniels and them did how much of that did they do? They really
Daniels. You know what Daniels did? Daniels either threw it down the field or he ran.
Yeah, but Burrow's kind of like been the only one, huh?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Post in the chat.
But hey, the middle screen against Clemson could go for a big play. Mike's been telling Brian Kelly on the red hotline phone, call that for me, Coach.
Dane Bergeron says Mike is dressing better. Man, I'm wearing a T-shirt tonight.
What is this, Siskel and Ebert?
Andy Whitaker, Mike, you were told specifically. No. I was told that whatever was posted out there on a free message board and out there in social media, they were saying that he was carted off. I was told that was baloney, that he went off the field on his own. Now, what did he go off? So they're admitting something happened when he went off the field.
By the way, I remember what happened to him in the game last year. Remember he had the sprained wrist. Or was that – no, I'm sorry, that was Kate Anderson. He was able to finish. Nuss had something last year. We thought he was going to be done, and he came back. He's a tough son of a gun. Put him in your prayers tonight, and we'll see when it comes out. We should know something verified, what, Mike, by Friday morning?
Yeah. All right, here we go. You see it on the screen there. Genesis of Lafayette, 2.99 APR for 60 months on the GV80, 3.99 for 72 months. You're not going to beat those deals at Genesis of Lafayette. Again, it's your premier luxury dealership offering the finest cars and SUVs in the region. Genesis of Lafayette has a huge inventory of new and certified pre-owned Genesis vehicles. Hit them up, 6600 Johnson Street in Lafayette, and they will exceed your expectations. Shop online at genesisoflafayette.com or call them at 877-856-2961 and tell them that TigerBait sent you. And we're glad to have another year of Genesis of Lafayette as a sponsor of TigerBait. Jaron Guidry is the sales manager, big LSU fans there. And you do yourself a favor, go test drive one of those great SUVs, either the GV70 or the GV80. You see the 70 there, 3.99 for 60 months, 4.99 for 72 months. And those APRs, those special finance rates are good till August 30th. And now's the time to look at them. The 26s are already in stock with 25 still there. That's why you get 2.99 on the 25s. Where can you beat 2.99 in today's age at 60 months? That's crazy. And I also need to talk about Alumni Hall. You see them right there on the screen. They've got all your national championship gear. They've got all your LSU football product. And it's the polos. It's the Peter Millar, the Nike. Head over to their store in Perkins Row. They've got all the newest designs for the upcoming football season. They're going to have all the Nike gear that the coaches will be wearing on the sideline. And say TigerBait, all one word at the store. Every time you go, say TigerBait. You're not limited to using it one time. Every time you go buy something, you say TigerBait at the register, and you're going to get 10% off every time. Or if you shop online, you put TigerBait in the promo code box, you're going to get 10% off. And like I always tell you, the great thing about Alumni Hall is everything ships from Baton Rouge. It's not coming from Vermont or Connecticut. You're going to get it very, very quickly. Beautiful store in Perkins Row. They got the 2 for $38 T-shirts up front with great designs. And like Buddy always says, do yourself a favor and give yourself some time to peruse all their inventory, because if there's something you want with an LSU logo, if they don't have it, nobody does.
Still have a lot of LSU baseball national championship stuff in there.
Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah, Carl the Cat done. Good evening, Mike and sidekick Buddy Spicy Songy. Yeah, man, someone fussed at me the other day because I was calling Buddy my sidekick. So the next report, I called him my co-host, and Buddy says he wants to be known as a sidekick. So I don't know which way to go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've been called many things before, but we enjoy doing those reports. Every now and then I get a little spicy, and I watch.
Everybody likes him when he's pushing me around too. My buddy Larry calls me from Lafayette. He goes, zoom back out. Don't zoom in so tight. So when he starts pushing you around, yeah.
Well, the reason we did this is that the last couple of days that we were out at camp, it started getting chippy. Now, with our relationship with Manda, instead of chippy, we say spicy. But you made a great comment about after Bernard Gooden. Bernard Gooden had his elbow in his fist, and they were fighting and they're trying to block him, and he's going 100 miles an hour. And so it started to get chippy. And I'm not a believer in a football fight. I've had many players I've interviewed, and I go, why did you fight? He called my mother a name. He said this about me, said that about me. There is no positive. Yes,
I heard far worse than that the other day when we weren't filming.
Yeah, I know. But my point of it is that you can't beat your own team up. The other team is going to do that. So if somebody takes a punch and hits on a helmet and breaks a wrist, I'm going to lambaste them for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But it's hot. And as we know, it's so physical and so violent. It's pretty much normal. But I thought you said BK did a good job of talking to Bernard Gooden. I'll tell you who I would talk to is Jack Pybron, because Jack Pybron could hurt 2 or 3 people. He is that big of a badass. You're going to love number 44.
Jonathan Claire might have one of the best questions of the show. Do you think they'll move Carius Kern to guard?
I am hoping. You know, when BK was first asked about Carius Kern, you remember what he said? His body is ready to play at this level. On the flip side, he said Harlan Berry's getting acclimated to the speed and the physicality of the guys tackling him. Carius Kern has lost 15 pounds. He was 335 in the spring. He came to fall camp at 320. He's the backup left tackle behind Tyree Adams. I would be very disappointed if they did not give him a look-see at either one of the guard spots.
I talked to one of my best friends. He's an offensive line coach and big LSU guy, but he's an offensive line coach in the area for top high school. And he tells me that Carius Kern is one of the few guys that fits the mold of what is needed in the scheme that LSU runs on the offensive line. And is it just a matter of time?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think, and you know, the big word yesterday with BK. Oh, by the way, this is kind of interesting. We had Brian Kelly with the media back-to-back days. I don't remember that ever happening. But the big word yesterday was the E word, evaluation. This is a great day to evaluate. And look, we're not trying to beat up Jordan Gilbert personally or Josh Thompson or whoever, Michael Van Buren. But we know you fans want to know who's looking good and want to know who's being a star out there.
But I will say this. There is a lot of eyeballs on Brad Davis.
Yep. I know. And it's not in recruiting. It's developing.
He recruits great. He's got a fully stocked roster. His room's full. I think I said it a week or two ago. I can recall back to some of the Miles years where he barely had 11 offensive linemen that were scholarship guys. He's got a full complement and he's deep. But why isn't it working?
But that's why Alex Atkins was coming over.
Right, and he's here.
He's here to help the run game.
Spring and the fall, and it's still not working.
And, well, it takes time. It takes time, you know. I'm not going to stop cussing overnight.
All right.
Unfortunately, it's a bad part of my personality. You're going to have to train some of these guys to do the right thing. And what did BK say yesterday? If you don't do what the coaches say, you sit. The most important thing a coach has is PT, playing time. You listen or you sit.
Brandon Greer, great show, guys. Would y'all say this is the best D-line and linebacker room we had since 2019? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No doubt.
And how worried are y'all with the O-line struggling against the defensive front? And we just been talking about it. Yeah, absolutely. This period is BK's best roster from top to bottom. Absolutely. But like what's been scared all day with those rumors, you know, there's a few places where you can't have injury. But from top to bottom, this is 100% Brian Kelly's best roster and the best since 2019.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I really do. I pointed to pride. I think you're going to see the pride of the LSU defense come back. They're gonna yap. That's what they always do. But I think you're going to see, what have I said for the first 3 years? A finesse football team. I think you're going to see some more physicality this year.
Yep. Brad DeVee, I agree. Mike Brad Davis needs to earn his money. Bayou Soul, excuse me. Start Kearney, he's the better player. Emery and Will both started as freshmen.
Carius Kern came in the spring, lost that weight. Mike, I think he can make a seamless transition from tackle to now. You'll have to get a backup left tackle, and you could put Bordelon over there or whatever. But I think Carius Kern deserves some reps at guard from what we've seen.
Dakota Chapman, the defense is going to be very disruptive against Clemson. Thank you for that. Bayou Soul, Perkins will be harassing Klubnik all night. You can no longer just focus on him. Andy Whitaker, Fizzbuzz, it's sounding like this front seven could be better than 2019. That front seven wasn't great. They were good enough. That front seven got better as the season went along. They tweaked some things towards the end, and
they had a lot of injuries too. They got healthy at the end.
Yeah, and you also remember when they dropped from one to number 2 in the country, they flip-flopped, and they took that to heart because a lot of people were dinging them for the defense. And from then on, the defense took off like a rocket ship. Patrick Queen, the year before, nobody would have suggested he was that high of a draft pick. That year, what did that year do for him?
Grant Delpit knocking, dislodging the football from the big, long-haired Clemson quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. That's what you have to do, and this is why I've been going crazy. You know it by heart. 6 frickin' INTs the whole year last year. Anybody that wants to bet a pack of Manda sausage, bring it on. LSU double-digit INTs. They only recovered 8 fumbles. That's 14 total takeaways. I'm expecting 10 INTs, 10 fumbles. Got to get at least 20 takeaways. I think this defense is going to do it because of the way they hit and the way they go after the football.
Brad DeVee, if the defense is as good as we think, will Kelly be less aggressive and take field goals?
That's one of the things I told Chester today when we were talking about it, how BK's got to get better. He's got to make better decisions once you get inside that scoring area. And Damian Ramos has not been kicking great. Don't worry about it. He's got plenty of time to get his act together. Aaron Burrell continuing to kick the ball deep. I know, Mike, you were asked about punting. Grant Chadwick is appreciably better than Peyton Todd and or Blake Oxendorf, but special teams, a new snapper, Jonathan Ferguson. You better have your rosary beads that first night with special teams. You cannot simulate in 90,000 with that speed of the game. But if they've got those ducks in a row on special teams, I think this is the best potential returners with AA, Xavier Thomas, and Barry and Brown.
All right, let's talk about Baze Oyster Bar, your number one new oyster spot in Louisiana. And I'm telling you, they're the best oysters in the area. You got to get down there and try them on North Boulevard. Absolutely the best oysters I've ever had. 315 North Boulevard. Of course, it's the old Jolie Pearl. You know where it's at. Serving the freshest farm-raised oysters from Grand Isle. No mud, no grit, just clean, delicious flavor. If you're not into oysters, they've got boiled shrimp. The turkey brie and bacon sandwich is unreal. Their classic roast beef po' boy is out of this world. And they've got a fully stocked bar, top-notch bourbon, whiskey, massive craft beer selection. So don't miss out on Baton Rouge's newest oyster spot. Spent a lot of money, great place to visit with friends. And head over to Baze Oyster Bar. And please tell them that TigerBait sent you in. And need to talk about the official electrical company of TigerBait.com. That's Dykes Electric. You need a brand new 10-story office building. They can wire that 200,000 square foot warehouse, expanding your existing commercial building, changing out a breaker, a whole electrical panel, a receptacle, upgrading the old lighting in your home or office. They can wire all of that. Give them a call today at the number on your screen, 225-216-9180 for a free estimate on your project, and make sure to let them know TigerBait sent you in. And
I thought about them today. I've been wired up all day, ever since 1 o'clock with that information. And hey, listen, hang in there, Tiger fans. This is the fun part of it. But, Mike, we cannot impress upon just how important these next 10 days are. It's tough. It's hot. It's physical. You're going to have injuries. I mentioned this a couple of days ago. LSU's been very lucky. And so as we were starting to see, Nick Anderson to start pulling on this, Barry Brown pulling on this. Even Nuss the other day when he got knocked down was grabbing. So it's hurting, whether it's the ankle, the arm, the shoulder, the knee. But hang in there. You got to do the tough work. And then once you get past that 10 days, then you start fine tuning and start getting your game plan ready for Clemson.
Yep. Kim Batiste, does Keelan Moses touch the field this year?
Right now, I would say only on special teams, but probably an R next to his name, redshirt.
I wouldn't utilize him.
I haven't seen him flash yet.
No.
But there's so many people ahead of him.
No, but he's got a big future. Justin Stout, Buddy, it was Nuss's shoulder, and he was hurt in the Oklahoma game.
That's right. Thank you so much for reminding me.
Thanks, Justin.
I think that was right before halftime. Ask him if that was right before halftime.
You just did.
Okay.
Kim Batiste, I hear Jaden Breaker looks like a keeper along with the Weeks brother.
Yeah. Well, see what I'm saying with Keelan Moses. There are so many good linebackers coming in, but, man, Jaden Breaker, and I've watched Zach Weeks. I don't know if you have 35. He's going to be a player. He's going to be a really good player.
Yeah, Fizz Buzz. Not one thought that Queen would be a two-time Pro Bowler either. He made a big jump in 2019. Is Van Buren from State ready to go as a freshman? He lit up some SEC teams, asked John Sibley Butler. And my answer is, yeah, he's ready to go, but how effective is he going to be? My answer is you're in trouble.
Well, and here's an interesting tidbit from Dr. John Sibley Butler. He started the last 8 games from Mississippi State. He's at a new place with new coaches, new talent around him. He's overthrowing. He's now when he breaks out and runs, he's a flash. But right now, he has struggled to have the accuracy that you need to be the quarterback at LSU. So, but he makes a good point. It might have taken him a little bit while. What's he going to look like in a month or 2 months? But we hope that we don't see too much of 11 this year. But that's still up in the air.
Black Mamba Ram. I like that Ram pickup, man. Those are tempting. Mike and Buddy, my question is, are we using a tight end package on the line to help pass or running back blocking? I'm not worried about the offensive line as a unit. They have time to get on the same page. Yeah. And that's why it's a big deal to get Tre'Davious Green to be that guy. They want to have a power running game.
Well, look, when I was able to eat cookies, my favorite was the chocolate chip. And that's what the tight end and the running back have to do. They have to chip. I was trying to designate that the other day in one of the reports. All that means is that when you have a defensive end coming from the outside, you have a tight end to help and bump him. The beautiful thing about it is that he can bump him, and then he can go out and catch a pass 3 yards right afterwards. So you can do that. But I don't know the running back that is going to stick his neck and his face and his body to block that blitz and safety or that linebacker. Everybody knows what Clyde Edwards did at 3rd and 17 at Texas a few years ago, 6 years ago. But chip, you got to have a running back and a tight end chip to help that offensive line. And Tre'Davious Green, they're trying to make him a blocker. BK explained it. When you're 6'7", it's hard to get the pad level underneath somebody. I say if you want to block from a tight end, use 10, use 88, Donovan Green. Continue to use Tre'Davious Green as your pass catcher. And, folks, he had a big one for the house a couple of days ago. His hands and his wingspan, tough matchup anywhere on the field, number 14.
Bayou Soul, I love the kicking competition. Competition breeds excellent. Nobody should be comfortable but Nuss, honestly.
Nobody should be what?
No one should be comfortable other than Nussmeier.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's comfortable tonight.
Yeah. Well, look, there's some guys that are comfortable, but I understand what he's saying. This is like A.J. Halsey. You remember what they did in the spring with Braylon Moore and Josh Thompson? Now, Josh Thompson got here late, but this is what these coaches are doing to keep fairness in that locker room. I don't care how much money you got paid in the portal. I don't care how much stats you have. You're going to have to earn a starting job, and that's what they're doing. I'm hoping 13 lines up on that night of August 30th on that field as a starting safety.
Alex Jr. says, thanks for the coverage, guys. Thank you, Alex, for the kind words. Akeem Batiste is Hurley getting meaningful reps. Yeah, he is. If so, how does he look throwing the football? It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Just no consistency out of the backup quarterbacks.
Some days he's on target. Some days he's not. And I think what BK said the other day is that he's trying to impress upon them every snap at 100%, but they have to pick up the little nuances. Folks, when you're the quarterback, you have to process a lot of things. You come up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to look at the safeties. You got to see where the blitz is coming. You got to know if they're playing man or zone. They're going to bait you like Perkins did. This is not easy to be a big boy quarterback in this league. That's why LSU is ranked 9th. We hadn't mentioned that yet. Coaches poll, Clemson 6th. LSU 9. AP comes out next Monday. I'm predicting LSU 8 and Clemson 5 in those rankings. It's relevant. But I will say this. Going against that LSU defense every day, all those guys are going to get better. I just hope the O-line can get up to snuff by August 30th.
Brandon Greer, would y'all say that Brad Davis is on the hot seat this year? It would be a shame to waste some of these backs. I don't know if he's on the hot seat. I think BK evaluates his staff at the end of every year. But knowing BK and you can say a lot of things about Brian Kelly. I can tell you that the fact that he's been able to have a stout running game since he's been at LSU is embarrassing to him.
Yeah. But let's be honest, Brad Davis was the interim coach when it went crazy. And he let Brad Davis coach the team in that bowl game against Kansas State. Look, the bottom line is this with Coach Davis. He's done a great job of recruiting. But does it fit the kind of players, the body, their movement, their skills? Does that fit in what Joe Sloan and Frank Wilson and Cortez Hankton and everybody wants to do? I like the addition of Alex Atkins. I think he's going to bring a lot. He's teaching those guys. So what we're saying here,
Solomon Thomas,
listen, he's going to be a factor. I don't know when he gets back. He's going to be a factor. It might be the second month of the season. But back to Brad Davis, can you be one-dimensional? Can you be a great recruiter but not be a great developer? And that's why we're at this position right now.
Yeah.
We're going over an hour tonight.
Alex Jr. says recruiting. Heard there's another big fish in the boat. Who are you hearing? Yeah. Maybe so. See it on the screen there, Stroubes. I went by there this afternoon and I could smell something was cooking there. And I wish I could have stayed for dinner. But boy, you got to get over to Stroubes Seafood and Steaks. 107 3rd Street, downtown Baton Rouge. Again, locally owned and operated. They take a high level of pride, all fresh ingredients, USDA prime black Angus, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. That's the one. And for those looking for something outside of red meat, they got the dry aged pork chop, duck Louisiana. But again, the black lobster pasta, redfish, steak Diane. So book your reservation online at Stroubes.com. If you go to Stroubes.com, you can see the entire menu. They have one of the better websites out there and with real descriptions. Let them know we sent you in at TigerBait and book your reservation. Great dessert menu. And get that crawfish mac and cheese as one of your sides. Trust me.
By the way, give them a call. The little hostess will always tell you about parking, availability, reservations, and make sure you mention TigerBait, Mike Scarborough, when you give them that phone call.
No, Deuce Gerald's is not the last recruit for 26. There's still recruits out there, and it's going to be one of those deals. I think from week to week, you're going to be looking for something to break that some quarterback that's committed elsewhere is coming to visit. What? Flip a coin?
I want to see somebody flipped, local kid.
Oh, yeah, Bradford. But you got to flip a quarterback in November.
Yeah.
They're going to need they need 2 new quarterbacks.
Look, you've been saying it religiously. And Mike, I've asked this question for him many times. is the starting quarterback in 2026 for LSU on the roster. And Mike right now has pretty much confidently said, no, he's not. But there is no doubt this even makes it more important.
You've got to go out and get a Jaden Daniels type guy in the portal.
No doubt. Not
saying you're getting a Heisman Trophy winner in the portal, but you got to go out and get a guy that you know is your starter next year.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Just some Amanda tidbits. As we said, assault Solomon Thomas on the side on the bike. He's a big man, 6'6", about 3 1/4. Of course, wanted to sign with Florida State when Alex Atkins came over here. You told me real soon LSU's going to get this kid. It's a shame he's not ready now because I think he'd be getting reps inside at guard. Look, that is the big question on that offensive line, the three, the center and the 2 guards. Paul Mubinga, is he good enough to play at LSU at start? We saw him last year in the last 5 or 6 games. Is he good enough? Look, Cohen Eccles, potential, red shirt. Don't know how good he is. DJ Chester has moved in as the backup center, so you hope Braylon Moore stays healthy. Is Carius Kern going to get a look-see at guard? And once again, with special teams, I definitely think Grant Chadwick is better. We're going to find out next time that we talk to BK about return guys. Look, everybody knows Barron Brown, Xavier Thomas, and Aaron Anderson, who will be the punt returner. And don't forget that we do get Joe Sloan on Friday after practice. And Joe is very talkative. It'll be interesting to see the direction of questions, because if we still have our normal availability, and I don't see any reason we wouldn't, then we will get a chance to see who's out there. And, of course, we cannot post anything until everything is done. So sit tight. There's some people that have jumped the gun before and gotten practice availability and access taken away. So just sit tight, be patient. And, look, Tiger fans, the great potential is there. But sometimes you got to get a break. Sometimes you got to get the bounce of the ball to go your way. You got to get a right call from the officials. You got to get a right replay call. And so my little tidbit is I want to see LSU do one thing in the next 20-something days, and that is teach those offensive linemen to keep those elbows in and hold. You can hold and get away with it. If you're out here and you see them grabbing their jersey, you're going to get the call. They've got to do a better job. I didn't say this yet, but if I was Josh Thompson, I would be holding on to Bernard Gooden tighter than my girlfriend. They do have officials out there, but I'm saying you've got to learn those little nuances of holding on an offensive play and getting away with it. And those little tricks can determine the difference between a touchdown or a 10-yard penalty. By the way, we'll get Joe Sloan, and as we said, I'm sure players, and we'll try to keep you up to date. But stay positive, folks. It's going to be a hell of a season, and as always, we appreciate everybody being on the ride with us.
Andy Whitaker asked about Darius Gray. I think LSU was in a great spot and has been in a good spot for him. A lot of conjecture out there that South Carolina is making a big push, and LSU could be on a slide. We'll see about that. We're going to follow up with him. We're trying to reach him. My focus has been football camp the last few weeks.
6 teams in the coaches' top 25 are on the LSU roster, and we wrap up with a really, really tough road schedule. At Clemson, the first game. At Ole Miss, week 5. At Vandy. At Alabama. And if LSU's 9-2 going to play at Oklahoma, that could be a game that they win. They're in the playoffs. They lose and go 9-3. They sit. So if you're making the road trips, man, I'm hearing it's highway robbery on tickets and the cost to go to Clemson. But by the way, in case you are a bigwig and have spent a lot of money, more than likely you're going to be in the nosebleed. I don't know how that stadium. How tough it is to seat, but if you're traveling there, you more than likely, if you're in the LSU section, going to be way up. And let's just hope that there'll be tears of joy, not despair.
Alex Jr. 28 says, I hope y'all hit 50K soon. We ought to hit 40 soon. Y'all do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you're watching us on YouTube. If you watch us on Facebook, where we're also streaming, please hit the follow button and the like button, but definitely the follow button. And I think we hit 105,000. We're about to hit 105 on Facebook as well. A lot of growth, and it's thanks to all of you tuning in each and every week. Yeah, Paul Askine, is the TigerBait get-together going to be hosted at Buddy's house or at Big Sal's house?
Look, he wants us to have a get-together. We'll figure that out.
We got to hurry up and figure that out.
Yeah, we'll try to figure that out.
Look how quick that's already snuck up on us.
I know. People don't understand when we get into this mode, but don't forget, next practice report will be Friday. Joe Sloan will be Friday. And we are not allowed, as soon as we get out there, we are not allowed to get on the phone and post whether Nuss is on the practice field, whether he's gimpy or not. So be careful what you get, because you're not allowed in the media to get that information until LSU.
I can tell you if he's at practice, as soon as Joe Sloan walks into the media room where we'll all be sitting, you're going to get about 100 LSU media tweeting at the same time.
Yeah.
Dr. Butler says, go Tigers, looking forward to a great season on purpose. And Dr. Butler, of course, is one of our great followers and a part of our show every week.
But you heard what Paul Feinbaum did, huh?
What?
He put the onus on Texas. He predicted that Arch Manning would win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the Heisman Trophy. Interesting that
you have no idea how much. Sorry, Dr. Butler. I'm pulling for the Buckeyes so hard in week one. You have no idea. Yeah. I want a 3-interception game for Arch Manning.
Oh, me.
I'm so tired of the hype. But you know what's sad about that? He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's a great kid. He's a great kid.
It's more my backlash of the media, not the kid himself. Does that make sense? I know,
but if Feinbaum predicted it, there's a good chance it won't happen.
Yeah. 256 Mosley. I'm thinking we could play Clemson twice this year, possibly in the playoffs.
Playoffs? Remember Joe?
Jim Morris.
Jim Morris said that. My fantasy situation this year is that LSU finds a way to get in the playoffs, which is probably 10-2. I don't want to see them play in the SEC championship game. I don't think there's any positive of that. But as everybody should know, the top 4 are going to get automatic buys. They're not doing it with the conferences. And then the other teams host. 5 host 12, 6 host 11, 7 host 10. I want LSU to be 8 and Notre Dame to be 9 coming into Tiger Stadium. And I promise you, you'll be sitting next to each other and you won't be able to hear what they're saying. It will be that loud.
All right. Capital City Grill, everybody. My last one I got to talk about. Go over there for their Sunday brunch. You see it on the screen, the chicken and waffles. The chicken's never frozen. Steen's syrup. It's out of this world. Man, I'd eat that now. I love breakfast for dinner. Look at that on the screen. And so get over there, 100 Lafayette Street. It's a great lunch spot. Many of you probably been there before. Great club sandwiches, burgers, French dip sandwich, seafood pasta, most everything at $30 or below for an affordable experience. But that Sunday brunch, plan on those during the football season from 11 to 2. If you're spending in a hotel room downtown, before you get out of town, head over to Capital City Grill. You'll probably see me there on most Sundays. Go to capitalcitygrill.net. You can look at the menu. And again, it's the best carrot cake in town. You see that dream cake up on your screen. That thing's $12 and feeds 4 people. And so if you love desserts like I do, this is one of your best spots. And then they make all of their desserts in-house.
Outdoor seating is fantastic.
Not man, right now, it ain't.
You're looking at the river, the wind's blowing, the bar is fantastic.
110 degrees. I'm going inside the air conditioner.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you got to have a little wind blowing. And look, folks, when you go to bed tonight, Garrett Nussmeier, put him in your prayers. Not just that he's healthy, but that is very much a spiritual young man, and he's going to handle whatever this situation is. But if anybody deserves, you don't make them that way anymore, Mike.
Absolutely zero.
But you don't make them that way anymore, where you stay around for 5 years. And so we'll give you the update as soon as we can. Sit tight, don't freak out, And Mama, get that honey-do list done now, because in 2 or 3 weeks, he's not going to be real good on Saturday. I don't know how many games you watch, probably not as many as I do, but it's wall-to-wall with football. Week 0, August 23rd, week 1, 4 incredible games, and it starts with Texas at Ohio State.
All right, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Again, like, follow, subscribe, notification bell, the works. And got a lot for you on TigerBait.com. Head over there for $1. Please subscribe. You'll get our newsletters. In fact, whatever is the outcome of this Nussmeier rumor mill today, you're going to get a text alert sent to your phone if you're a subscriber. You got to sign up for it. It's free. And we've got a little push pin post on our message board to get text alerts. I'm going to send a text alert to our subscribers that have signed up for that part of their subscription plan. As soon as we get out of, we're able to, when Joe Sloan walks in that media room Friday morning. But all right, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night.